Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and back to another Star Wars video. Today I'll be continuing my Did Right, Did Wrong series where I will look at all the characters from the Star Wars sequel movies and pinpoint at least 3 things Disney did right and 3 things Disney did wrong for each character. If you would like to see the Did Right, Did Wrong videos for Rey, I'll leave their links in the description below. For this video, we'll be exploring the character of Luke Skywalker. 3 things Disney did right. As always, remember everything I say in this video is just my opinion. You do not have to agree with my opinion, it's just my opinion. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. But with all that taken care of, let's get started. Oh boy, this video is going to be super difficult for me to accomplish. But I believe in looking at an argument from both sides. So, here we go. As usual, I'll start with a quick story review. After the Battle of Endor, Luke continued to help the Rebel Alliance with Leia and Han, eventually creating a Jedi Academy of his own to train Force sensitives in the way of the Force. Meanwhile, Leia and Han got married and had a son named Ben Solo. When it was discovered that Ben carried the Force abilities of his mother, uncle, and grandfather, he was sent to Luke's academy to be properly trained. However, Luke began to sense a darkness in Ben, a dark side power. Immediately, Luke feared it, and the fear drove him to almost take his nephew's life. He stopped himself just in time, but Ben had seen what his uncle was about to do. In anger and fear, Ben escaped from his uncle and destroyed the Jedi Academy, disappearing and later becoming the Dark Jedi Kylo Ren. Luke was left in the ashes of his school, but he survived and left to put himself into exile on a faraway planet, leaving behind a map to his whereabouts. In The Force Awakens, Rey and the Resistance are able to find the pieces of the map and track down Luke to his far-off planet. In The Last Jedi, Rey convinces Luke to train her, and he eventually agrees. However, Rey taps into the dark side, and immediately Luke freaks out, refusing to train her anymore. Rey leaves the planet to go help the Resistance, but Luke stays behind. He shows up later in the Battle of Crate to fight against Kylo Ren as a Force projection, giving the Resistance enough time to escape. The energy required to create a Force projection takes the rest of Luke's strength, and he dies, peacefully fading into the Force. Luke makes another appearance in The Rise of Skywalker when Rey tries to exile herself, but Luke appears as a Force ghost. He gives her a mentor pep talk, Leia's lightsaber, and his X-Wing so that Rey can continue to fight for the Resistance. This was Luke's last act, though at the end of the movie, he appears side by side with his sister Leia as Force ghosts on Tatooine before the movie ends. Alright, with that refreshing review, let's get into what this video is really about. Luke, 3 things Disney did right. Now, in my opinion, there are very few things Disney did right with Luke in the sequels, but this video is not about the negatives, this is about only the positives. So, as my right point number 1, we have Luke's first appearance. Luke was first introduced into the sequels at the very end of Force Awakens. Rey sees him at the top of one of the hills on the island, walks up to him, and offers him his old lightsaber. Now, there have been characters introduced to movies in very weird or awkward ways, but I think that Disney did actually a pretty good job introducing Luke into the sequels. They kind of put it at a cliffhanger at the end of the movie. They had the music just right as the camera spun around the two of them standing on the island with Rey's hand outstretched. I just think it was pretty good, just honestly. I mean, this is just something that they did pretty well in my opinion as Luke's first appearance. That was a really quick point, but I'm already on to point number 2. Right point number 2, Luke's dark side moment. Now, if you've seen my previous videos on Rey, you know that one of the things I liked that Disney did was giving Rey a dark side inclination. They did the same thing for Luke's character, and I actually really liked it. As I've said before in previous videos, I like seeing Jedi have to struggle and overcome the dark parts of themselves because, in my opinion, I don't think anyone's perfect, so seeing a Jedi struggle with that dark energy inside them is very intriguing to me. Luke's actions towards Ben, his nephew, and Rey, his student, were done more in fear than in anger, but they were still the dark side. Luke allowed the dark side to control him, to control his fear, and to drive him into exile. That is pretty powerful, in my opinion. I do wish that Disney had delved deeper into the fact that Luke was using the dark side, but as I said earlier, this video is only about positives and no negatives. So I found it very interesting to see Luke presented with this task of overcoming the dark fear inside of him and having to face that fear and having to face the mistakes of his dark side meddling, aka Ben Solo. This is one thing that I can truly say I did like that Disney did with Luke, but time is going quickly and we have to move on to my third point. Right point number 3, fear of Rey's power. Now, the reason why this is on my list is because it was something that Disney did that just made sense for Luke's character. Of course, he was going to fear Rey's power, especially after the events that had happened previously with Ben Solo. Ben had great power, though when he was driven by fear, it enabled him to destroy an entire Jedi Academy and kill all the students within. That moment in Luke's life probably haunted him the rest of his days. And now to be presented with Rey, another Force sensitive who was very powerful and had an inclination to the dark side, I bet Luke was having some flashbacks. There was 2 things Disney could have done here, which is 1, have Luke fear Rey's power, or 1, to try again and this time succeed in being able to train this powerful Force sensitive to use her abilities. But since all humans are flawed, we remember fear most keenly. Luke remembered the fear that he felt toward Ben's power, and he remembered the fear he felt after Ben had completely decimated his academy. He didn't want to go through that again. Who would? What Disney did here was just showing the human side of Luke. We've seen him at his greatest as he took down evil at his peak, but this was him at his lowest. This was Luke full of fear, not knowing where to go next, and just kind of stuttering and stumbling. Now, I will say, I believe it could have been performed a little bit better, but no negatives. So, I can say that this fear of Rey's power made sense for his character, considering what had already happened in the past. Luke was afraid, and Disney gave him a chance to overcome that fear. And with that, that wraps up this video. Luke's right points are, number 1, Luke's first appearance, number 2, dark side moments, and number 3, Luke's fear of Rey's power. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe because it would be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, and may the Force always be with you.